Everyone knows it goes down in the GMs, so let's slide into my GMs with our favorite GM, Dan O'Dowd.
The only one that works here, really.
These are the best conversations, though.
Yeah, so the purpose of this segment is to take a look and give us a snapshot on where you think some teams are and what you think they might be looking for or looking like in the days and weeks ahead. Let's talk about the New York Mets. Where are they right now in your mind?
Well, I mean, obviously, guys, they haven't played well, but, you know, from a GM perspective, I hate blowing up my team when my team that I thought was going to be good has not had one good run the entire year to actually see what they look like when they're playing well. And then reality of it is, you know, as a GM, you also have to come to the conclusion, like, what do you do? Like, what kind of value do your players actually have? And where are you in your evolution of winning? If they trade Verlander and Scherzer, they've got no young starters. So they're going to have to be back out on the market again looking for starting pitching in the offseason, probably on longer-term deals than these guys are on. Marte might have some value as teams are looking to improve their offense, but what kind of value? Because he really hasn't had a good year, and he still has significant money left. So sometimes you just have to focus on what you have internally and figure out how to get better.
D-Row, they got a run in them?
I think they have a run in them, definitely. Not a good enough run to catch the division. I think for me, when I've watched the Mets over the course of the season, I think back to the days of Bobby Cox. He let the players decide whether or not they were going to win or lose the division. What I mean by that is Starling Marte wants to hit second, and I know he was hitting second last night, and he's hit second, but Buck has tried to, like, figure out a way to get this team going.
You got to stop that.
Then it's on him.
Yeah.
Hey, players,
here you go.
Your contracts say you're better than this. Yeah. I'm running a lineup out that I think is fair, especially this one, Nimmo, Marte, Lindor, a lot. We're going, you're either going to take us or it's on you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and try and reinvent the wheel to get us going. We are who we are.
They're too good.
But then over the weekend, you have a chance to take 2 or 3 from Philadelphia. You run your bullpen really bizarre, trying to not bring guys in and out of Vino. And I get all of it.
Remember, they were still dealing with a suspension.
But you're depleted. You need wins.
Yeah.
You're depleted.
You know, I think Tito raised a great point. I think managers at times when things don't go well, they try to, because they care so much, the care factor is so high that they take it upon themselves to try to fix the problems. When in reality, what they should do is just take a step back, catch their breath, and let the team try to figure it out.
All right, St. Louis Cardinals, what do you got?
Yeah, another tough one for me is that I think the sum of the parts is not adding up, but it's a bad division. I still think there's a run in the Cardinals. But at the same point in time, if I was John Mozeliak, I think I'd run parallel tracks just to see what kind of value certain players had within the industry, to see if I could reboot very quickly and create more payroll flexibility for myself moving forward.
Pulling the trigger on one of these guys, or is that just...
Probably. I don't think the guy on the right would bring back the value, even though he's a great fit for the Phillies, of what you might think. But he might, because he only has 1 year left on his deal. God, the Nolan situation, I mean, he could have opted out. He chose not to opt out. That's a precarious situation for you as a GM to try to begin to talk about him in trades. And the reality of it is you don't keep anything quiet. So if you're going to talk about Paul or Nolan at all, you got to go to them first.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to be totally transparent with them and see what their reaction is and go from there.
G-Roll, the whole time we talked with those players and everyone associated with the Cardinals, it was similar as to the Mets. We have not had a good run yet.
Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. But that being said, there's 2 things that are glaring to me when I watch this team. Their starting pitching is lacking.
Yeah.
It's lacking.
Yeah, there's a bigger lacking thing for me. I think they need to make a change at the manager's position.
Oof.
Is that I think they've had, and it's not his fault at all. I mean, this is a hard job. But I think there's just been no settling of the team.
Because, and that was my second point. Who's the everyday guy? You can't have 26 guys that don't know their role outside of Goldie.
And I think that's on the manager.
And Arenado.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, am I an everyday guy? Am I not? Am I playing today? Am I not? Am I Jordan Walker?
If that's coming down from the front office, that's still on the manager.
And there's guys playing out of position.
There is. And
period.
That was a great defensive team a year ago that's not a great defensive team now. Why? Because guys are playing all over the place. There's no settling at all of their lineup and their roles on that team. I think
Wilson
that gets down to
Contreras,
leadership.
I can't believe they did what they did earlier. I spent a day on a double-decker bus with him. He scares me. He is like an intense dude.
For Knox on that Sunday win for the St. Louis Cardinals. They're back at it tonight against the Houston Astros. So, I mean, it's a big series, obviously, for both of them. All right, speaking of the Astros, let's talk about a team in the division, the Angels. Where are you on the Angels?
I'm interested to hear where you're.
I think the Angels have a shot. I think obviously, we talk about starting pitching all the time. For me, I put my whole emphasis on their bullpen. I think when, the evolution of Moniak, I think they got a great trip in Joe Adell. They need to move. He's gone off in Salt Lake City. I think he's got value within the industry again. I think when you're a team that's on a bubble, you want to win the games that you have a chance to win every single night. Even though they're young pitching, I think some of their younger arms has helped stabilize the bullpen. I'm putting my efforts on the back end of the pen and really trying to make sure that from the 6th inning on, I've got a lockdown bullpen.
And listen, I think for me, Perry Managian has shown the ability to let his team know that he's going to do everything in his power, even if it's at the. I don't think Eduardo Escobar and Mike Moustakas make that big a difference when it's all said and done. But they might this much for this team, and he went out and got both of them.
Well, that's because they're dealing with injuries. Or Shell is
also sending a message to his team.
Exactly. You're constantly seeing guys walk in with backpacks to try and help us.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Mike was at the plate last night with a chance to win the game, pass ball.
Yeah.
The Moose could have had a big moment out of the gate.
That's right. Escobar was on the restricted list because he was taking his citizenship test.
Nice.
So congratulations to Eduardo Escobar and his family. So obviously, but the big question is the Ohtani question. I don't think that
No.
You can't trade him. You can't trade him.
You can, but they won't.
They will.